Imagine standing 60 feet up in the canopy of a massive white oak. You are leaning back in your saddle, putting your full weight into your flip line, and you are about to make a heavy drop cut on a massive limb hanging right over a homeowner's brand new sunroom. Now think about what would happen if you forgot to look at your anchor point. What if you just assumed the branch you tied into was completely solid, but deep down inside, hidden under the bark, it was hollow and rotten? You would never do that, right? You check your tie-in point, you test your lines, and you make absolutely sure your life support system is rigged to handle the load. You do not gamble with gravity. But every single day, thousands of talented tree climbers gamble with something just as dangerous. They step out of the tree, throw their gear in the back of the truck, and run their tree business without any legal or financial rigging whatsoever. They work under the radar, taking cash, avoiding insurance, and operating as a simple sole proprietorship. They think they are being smart by avoiding taxes and premiums. But the truth is, they are climbing a dead tree with a frayed rope, and they have no safety hitch to catch them if things go sideways. Today we are talking about rigging your legal shield. We are going to look at why setting up the right business structure, like a limited liability company or an S-corporation, is the ultimate backup system for your life. We will break down general liability and workers' compensation, and I am going to show you exactly why staying under the radar is not saving you money. It is actually choking out your company and stunting your growth before you ever get off the ground. When you start cutting trees for money on your own, the law automatically looks at you as a sole proprietor. This means you and your business are the exact same thing. There is no separation. If you drop a 70-foot pine tree through a customer's roof, or if a rogue chunk of wood smashes through their expensive stone retaining wall, you are personally on the hook for every single penny of that damage. If the homeowner decides to sue, they are not just coming after your business bank account. They are coming after your personal truck, your tools, your savings, and even the house where your family sleeps at night. Operating as a sole proprietor in the tree care industry is like climbing without a secondary tie-in point while using a chainsaw with a broken chain brake. It is madness. That brings us to our first major shift, which is building your primary legal friction hitch, the limited liability company, commonly known as an LLC. Think of an LLC as a solid, engineered bulkhead between your personal life and your professional risk. When you form an LLC, you are creating a separate legal entity. The business owns the trucks, the business signs the contracts, and the business takes on the risk. If a disaster happens on the job site and the liability exceeds your insurance, the legal damage stops at the boundary of the company. Your personal assets, your family's home, and your personal livelihood are protected behind that shield. It acts exactly like a load-rated rigging block, absorbing the shock of the drop so that the anchor tree does not snap. As your business grows and you start making more money, you will hear people talk about an S-corporation. Do not let the corporate jargon confuse you. An S-corporation is not a completely different kind of business. It is simply a special tax status that your LLC can choose to use. Think of it like swapping out a standard climbing line for a specialized high-tech rigging rope that reduces friction and saves your energy. When your business starts generating a healthy profit, an S-corporation allows you to pay yourself a reasonable salary and take the rest of your business income as distributions. This simple shift can save you thousands of dollars every year in self-employment taxes. But do not jump into that canopy too fast. You want to stick with a basic LLC until your company is consistently making enough money to justify the extra accounting fees. For now, just focus on setting up that basic LLC shield. The second shift we need to talk about is wrapping your business in the proper safety gear, which means understanding general liability and workers' compensation insurance. I know guys who complain about insurance premiums more than they complain about dull chains or rainy days. They view insurance as a giant tax that steals their hard-earned money, but that is completely the wrong way to look at it. Insurance is your safety hitch. It is the friction hitch that catches you when you slip. Let us look at general liability insurance first. This covers damage to property and injuries to people who do not work for you. In the tree world, general liability is non-negotiable. We deal with extreme weights, high elevations, and unpredictable forces. Even the best climbers in the world can have a rigging rope slip or a branch swing the wrong way. If a branch takes out a power line or crushes an air conditioning unit, your general liability policy steps in and covers the bill. A standard $1 million policy is the bare minimum entrance fee to be taken seriously in this industry. But the real monster in the closet is workers' compensation insurance. This is the insurance that covers your ground crew, your climbers, and yourself if someone gets hurt on the job. Let us be completely honest with each other. Tree work is one of the most dangerous professions on the planet. We operate high-powered cutting tools, work near high-voltage lines, and handle heavy falling objects every single day. If your groundman gets his hand caught in the chipper, or if your climber takes a fall from 30 feet up, the medical bills can easily reach hundreds of thousands of dollars in a matter of minutes. If you do not have workers' comp, you are personally and legally responsible for those medical bills. You could lose everything you have ever worked for in a fraction of a second. Yes, workers' comp premiums for tree work are incredibly expensive. It can feel like a heavy weight dragging down your cash flow every month, but trying to run a crew without it is like sending a green ground man into the drop zone without a helmet and telling him to look up. It is irresponsible, it is illegal, and it will eventually destroy your business. This brings us to our third and final shift, which is escaping the under-the-radar trap. I talk to a lot of young guys who tell me, I am just going to keep it simple, man. I will do cash jobs for friends, keep my prices low, and stay under the radar so I do not have to deal with taxes, licenses, and insurance. They think they are being clever. They think they are carving out a competitive advantage by keeping their overhead low. But here is the brutal truth. Working under the radar does not protect you. It traps you in the underbrush. When you do not have a registered business, a tax identification number, and certificates of insurance, you are completely locked out of the best, most profitable jobs in your area. You cannot bid on commercial properties. You cannot work for property managers. You cannot clear lines for utility companies. And you cannot even work for high-end residential homeowners who understand risk and demand to see proof of insurance before you step onto their lawns. By staying under the radar, you are voluntarily trapping yourself in a race to the bottom. You are forced to compete strictly on price against every random guy with a pickup truck and a cheap chainsaw from the hardware store. You are forced to chase $50 trims and $300 removals, working twice as hard for a fraction of the money. You are putting your body through absolute hell, risking your life and your freedom every single day, just to make a subsistence living. The moment you decide to legitimize your business, to rig your legal shield, and to pay for proper insurance, you step out of that crowded, lowball underbrush and you enter the high canopy of professional tree care, where clients respect your expertise and gladly pay premium prices for peace of mind. Rigging your business legally might feel intimidating if you have spent your whole life focusing on knots and chainsaws. But just like learning how to tie a complex rigging system, it is simply a matter of following the steps, understanding the forces, and setting up the system correctly before you apply the load. Let us wrap up today with the core lesson. Operating a tree business without a legal shield and proper insurance is not saving you money. It is risking your entire future just to stay trapped in the lowest paying jobs. Here is your homework assignment for today while you are driving to your next job site or heading home to clean up your gear. I want you to pull out your phone when you park, look up your state's official business registration website, and find out exactly how much it costs to file a basic limited liability company in your area. Usually, it is less than the cost of a brand new professional climbing rope. See how simple the process is and make a firm commitment to stop working like an amateur employee and start protecting yourself like a true business owner. Take care of your legal rigging, protect your future, stay safe in the canopy today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.